savings. Take a look at the taxes that are in this bill. This is the one that the Senate is going to try to say, we want to discuss. We want to just discuss this on Saturday. That's all we're voting for. If that passes to discuss this bill, mark my words, it will pass the Senate. It's a game. These people are liars. Here's some of the taxes. We have first individual mandate tax. Got that one. That's an income surtax. Then the employer mandate tax. And by the way, these are just a few that we found. Just found a couple of them just in the 12 hours since we've seen it. A 40% tax on Cadillac health insurance plans, medicine cabinet tax, an HSA withdrawal tax hike, excise tax. This is on children's hospitals. It's fantastic. Tax on innovator drug companies. You know, thinking people coming up with new ideas. Got to tax those guys. Tax on medical device manufacturers. Oh, those pesky pacemakers. Man, we got to screw those companies. How about tax on health insurers? Eliminates tax deduction for employer-provided retirement drug coverage. You don't want your employer doing that. You should tax those employers. Please, that's the government's job. Raises haircut for medical itemized deduction. AARP, though, is your friend. Blue Cross Blue Shield tax hike, tax on cosmetic medical procedures. These are just a few that we found. Can I ask you a question? In a recession, how does this help? How does this help? We're in a crisis. Why would any sane person do this? They wouldn't. They wouldn't do it. I've talked to you about Cloward and Piven. Have you looked it up yet? Please do. Please. These are two radicals who talked about collapsing the system. That is what is going on here. Put these taxes together with what I showed you on the debt, what I showed you around the globe. Piece that together with the idea that Acorn is now global. SEIU is now global. If there is a better explanation, I'd love to hear it. I would. None of this makes sense. I don't want to believe these things. But it doesn't make sense even if you think about it from a politician's point of view. Think, please, think of this. All of the benefits of this bill don't kick in until when? You don't get a single benefit until 2014. But the taxes that we just went over, when do they start? Wait a minute. So I'm not going to get any benefit, but I'm going to pay all of those taxes. We're taxing the American public 10 years in order to pay for 5 years of coverage. Well, first of all, once the coverage starts, you're never going to be able to afford it. Did somebody invent a garbage-powered DeLorean that can time travel when it hits 88 miles per hour? Because I'm not aware of it. You can't keep taxing 10 years for taxes and only pay for 5 years. The space-time continuum doesn't work that way. What politician would stand at the podium and say, I know we're in a recession. Unemployment double digits and climbing. Deficit is $12 trillion. Will be 24.5 according to whitehouse.gov. $24.5 trillion in 10 years. But I'm going to add all these taxes here. And guess what? You're not going to get jack for 5 whole years. Anybody who taxes you with all of this stuff, this much, and the economy continues to go down, our deficits continue to go up, how does that politician get reelected? Something is very, very wrong. So what do? Well, there are politicians who are on the fence. Call them, but please, only call them if you live in their district. They don't care if you're calling from someplace in the country. These 2,000 pages will destroy America. Once they have health care, they will regulate every aspect of your life. And it just goes on from there. Everything can be spun into a health issue. Oh, carbon emissions. Oh, it's health. Guns, that's a health issue. Doritos, hey, like big fat fatty Glenn, everything. Once they have 60 votes on Saturday, and they're going to do it. And I am not one for squashing debate. But I don't debate with people who are dishonest. They will only need 51 votes to pass this disaster. They're going to all say, oh, Glenn, Harry Reid wouldn't do the nuclear option, the 51 thing. Oh, yes, he will. If you think these clowns care about the rules, remember, rules for radicals. If you think they care about the Constitution, I got some land to sell on the moon. I'll show you why. America, let me ask you this one question. Do you trust these people in Washington with your children? Would you send them to be an intern? Your daughter, would you send her to be an intern? Do you trust them with the lives of your children that are now currently in Afghanistan or Iran? Why would you trust them with our entire future? I'm going to show you the kind of dirtbags you are up against next.